So I read an article in a magazine recently, headline, "Our culture is turning us into a bunch of hyper-aggressive, homicidal maniacs." Another headline, "Political polarization, culture wars, road rage. We are an angrier society. What can be done?" Well, they might have overstated a little bit, but maybe just a little. And in Jesus' day, they had a very similar problem. The culture back then had begun to value pushiness and power and performative religion. And when that happens, it can make you feel like, wow, to make a difference for God, I also have to be pushy and aggressive and play by the feisty rules of my culture. But Jesus gives us a different way, the Jesus way. And he unveils it in his most famous sermon, the Sermon on the Mount, and kicks it off with this. Jesus says, "Blessed, favored by God, are not the powerful or the mighty or the socially esteemed or the aggressive or the most brutal or the most well-funded or the most well-equipped or the most well-armed or the most talented." Listen to what he says. "Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are the grieving, the meek, the ones who hunger and thirst for righteousness, the merciful, the pure in heart, the peacemakers, the rejected, the slandered, the persecuted." He says, they will inherit the earth. Theirs is the kingdom of God. This means two things. First, it means you are seen and loved. Even if you don't have the applause of humans, you've got the applause of heaven. You know, we live in this world obsessed with likes, social media likes, approval of the gatekeepers from whatever cultural group you're in. And Jesus says, man, you don't have to worry about what they say. They have their own checklist. God has a whole other thing, right? You're blessed by God. So center yourself on him, not them. You're welcome. You're blessed. You're meek. You're lowly. You're grieving. You're still seen and you're still loved. Second, it means you have a future because Jesus promises them you will inherit the kingdom of heaven. You will be comforted. You will be filled. You will be rewarded. Not you might be, you will be. Your poverty won't last forever. Your grief will end. Your loneliness will end. Your faithfulness will be rewarded. You think nobody else knows what you're going through. Nobody else feels what you feel. Nobody else observes the hours that you spend caring for that loved one or staying faithful in temptation. But God sees your heart and God rewards. The Beatitudes are so soaked in hope. In fact, Jesus is saying this is a very sneaky way to be countercultural. You don't have to make a scene. Just be seeds with your love, with your peacemaking. We're going to do a deep dive into the Beatitudes this weekend as we continue our Sermon on the Mount series, The Jesus Way. Now, I know it's Memorial Weekend, and I know it's the start of summer, but spending an hour or two in fellowship and learning and worshiping together, that's going to be so good for your soul. Get your summer kicked off right. Hope to see you Saturday, 6 p.m. and Sunday at 9 and 11.